From our last tutorial, we created a solution to the maze, and in doing so we actually used what was called a static solution. So these are all steps, one after another, that allows the robot to traverse through the maze. So with the first one, move forward at speed 15, sets the speed of the robot. Move forward 30 centimeters, so the robot moves forward 30 centimeters. Next line says turn left 90 degrees. You can see through the code there's a lot of 90 degrees move forward and 45s, and then there's some degrees of turn 98. This is due some of the corrections. So the robot seems to overcorrect or go too much to the left or too much to the right. So sometimes we have to do little micro adjustments. But is there a better way of coding this? Can we do this program in less than 22 lines? And if we start looking at the sensor of the robot, if we turn the robot on here, we actually have an ultrasonic sensor looking forward and also a infrared on the left and on the right. And we can use these for our advantage to help the robot navigate through the maze. So let's have a look at how we can do that. So we're going to close this project down. I'm going to start a new project and I'm going to call it Maze. Maze sensors, and click on create. So let's get the robot moving. We did this in the last tutorial where we get the robot to repeat and keep moving forward while true. So you can see while true, so forever do this. What do we want to do? We want to move forward at the speed of 15. So that'll make the robot keep moving forward. So remember, once you drop a block in, click out, or if you make an adjustment, just click on the screen again so it updates the code on both sides. When I hit run, we can see the robot move forward, but because it's always moving forward, it's never going to stop. Okay, so let's use a sensor to see if we can get the robot to stop. So let's bring out a logic block, and we'll start with just an if do. So if something, we want something to occur, and we're going to go into sensor and we're going to read the ultrasonic distance. So, and we're going to put that in the first part of the if then else block. So if read ultrasonic distance is less than, and then I can put a distance. So let's put in a distance of 20. So if the ultrasonic distance is less than 20, what that means, if we turn on the robot view at the front here, if this gets below 20, the robot's going to then trigger what's inside that loop, do something here. Well, what do I want to do? I want to break out. So I'm just going to go break. Now the break puts a break out of loop command, and you notice I just wrote the word break and it actually created that whole block here for me. So if it gets less than 20, it's going to stop. So let's run this. So go play. It's going along, it's checking, it's reading. Oh, and it suddenly stops. So we can't really see any data at the moment. So let's get some data. So we're going to come up the top here and we're going to create a variable. We're going to call it front distance, and that's going to be equal to, and we're going to get what's called read ultrasonic. So I'm just going to copy that and paste up here. So it's going to read the ultrasonic and put that into a variable called front distance. And then what I want to do is display that. I'm going to put the word print, and then I'm going to put front distance. But that should spit out a whole lot of information down here for me. So let's just see that work. I'm going to just click back in here, hit play. But you can't see the distance at the moment, so I'm going to hit play. But you can see at the moment 38, 38, 38. I'll just run the code again. You can see the numbers coming out, and when it gets to 20, because it's equal to 20, it's not less than 20, it's equal to, the program stops, and you can see how quickly it's sensing. So it's pretty quick, and the robot stops there. I'm just going to make this just a little smaller. So you'll be able to see it still, but you'll be able to see the code flicking along here as well. So now we've got a choice. So when I click the rover block now, you can actually see that in front is 17 centimeters, and that's why the robot stopped, because it's no longer greater than 20. But you can see that we have a left and a right. The left is 93 centimeters and the right is 13. So which way do you think the robot should turn? Have a think about it. Hopefully you said turn left, like our static code before. Because 93 is greater than 13, obviously this side is clearer. In other words, the wall is further away on the left than it is to the right. So let's see if we can actually code this into our code. So we're going to use this IR again, but we're going to change what happens in here. So I'm just going to remove the breakout loop, and I'm just going to put it just underneath here at the moment. I just parked it in a way. I'm going to click on the little cog here, and I'm going to put in an else if. So an else if allows us to do something. Actually, we probably won't use the else if. We'll just take the else if back, and we might just actually bring out a whole new if statement. Because if the distance is less than 20, in other words, there's a wall in front of us, we then need to see if left or right is clear. So let's see if we can read the left side. So to do that, we need to go back into the sensors again, and we have an IR read left. So when it reads, it gets the number. So if we read the left one, and that is greater than, and if we read the right one, so we'll go get it again, this time we'll bring it in, read left, put that in here, and change that to right. So if the left IR distance is greater than the right IR, we need to turn left. So I'm then going to put in here the turn left. So we're going to go movement, and we're going to tell the robot to turn left. But if it's the other way around, in other words, it's not bigger, in other words, right is bigger than left and we need to turn right, I need to add an else part, which is for the false. So this is where this is going to come add onto here. It gives us the else part, and then I can go into movement and turn right by 90 degrees. So if I hit a wall and I'm within 20 of the wall, if the left side is greater, turn left, but if the right side is greater, turn right. Okay, and I won't need this breakout. So now when the robot runs along, let's run the code now, play. If it gets to this point, you'll notice, okay, which way? I've got to turn left. It made a decision. Now it's moving along. When we get in within 20 of the wall, it makes a decision. It needs to turn left. When it gets to this one again, it makes a decision, turn left. It gets to this one, and this time it's going to turn right because there was more gap on the right. It should turn left. Now it should turn right. Now it goes down and get within the wall. The left is more space on the right, sorry. Then it goes across. It gets within 20 of the wall, works out there's more space on the right, turns right. Same again, more space on the left, so it turns left. Gets here, notice there's more space on the right, the robot turns right, and then exits. So what we've just done there is use what's called nested decision with a loop, and using a couple of variables, we can actually see the solution occur. So let's step this up just that one little bit and actually work out what it's seeing. We know we're within 20 of the distance, it says there, so we're going to put a little comment in here. We're going to go up the top here and go quote front colon space quote, and then we're going to put a comma in, and then it'll actually output the distance. And you see it's made the little cube, print front and then distance. So when this code runs now, you can see it's giving me the front. I know what that data's for. So let's also get the left and right. So when it gets to this point and it's got to read these two ultrasonics, let's get the left side and the right side and read that. So to do that, I'm not going to put it there. I'm just going to go above that. So when it enters this if, we can then get the two distances. we can go left distance is equal to, and we'll just go IR read left, and then we can copy the whole thing again. Notice I do a lot of copying and pasting, and paste again. Notice that it's all indented, notice it's all sitting nicely, but remember to change this one to right. And then the IR left, change that to right. Now the last thing we want to do is output that, so we're going to use a print statement again like we did up the top here on line 4, and we're going to go print bracket quote left side, and then we're going to put out the left IR, so left distance. Then we're going to put another comma in, which is sort of like allows us to concatenate, add things together. Then I'm going to put a quote space so that it's not hard up against the left distance number, and I'm going to put right distance space, and also put the colon in there so it sort of matches up, comma, and put right distance. Oh, and I'm just going to change the other one, right distance. Okay, but I'm just going to change the capital R to a lowercase r here because it's Python. And we're just seeing that that looks all okay here. Let's run the data now. You see it's putting out the front, then it's gone left is 93.5 and the right was less than that. When it goes along, we can't quite see the robot. There you go, you see the left and the right, and it's making the distance. If I stop the robot now, we can scroll back through the data and we can actually see what's happening in real time. We can actually see the distance come up. 52 to the left, distance to the right is 15, so because 52 is larger, we've got to turn left. Okay, so I hope you found that tutorial really useful on how to use loops, how to use data to drive your decision, also how you can use the output area by using print statements to track the values as they move through your code.